couldn't finish it.
Nancy Doe.
Then moves out along.
How many people can it bite?
Right.
So one day, it's gonna be a real problem.
Yeah.
Bite somebody in the face or.
Exactly, man.
Better than Matt did.
I was pissed. Son walking over, you okay? And I run all over the floor.
I called 9 times.
Right. Yeah, what Pete say?
What Pete said, you know, probably terrible. Sometimes people getting bit. It's a problem. Somebody else. The fact it was me. As a kid, that's what it is. Anyway. Thanks for listening. I feel a lot better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I did write one, I sent it to Susan and Don, it was fine. Susan responded and said, I thought you said you were gonna tell them, besides the long sign, they can't stick the Newco stuff, and I said, I did, that's what the letter said. And I never heard that. But that was, well, with regard to, lot sizes, and variance, but we want to abide by the instructions.
Joan.
We don't want to.
Sure, I'll get over it.
One day, overnight, but it was good.
I know. Where you sitting? I'll sit with you.
I don't know. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Not bad, how are you?
Don't share the seat.
Hey, Jerome, share it with him. You could have filled it out. You sit there?
I was just saying, no, I want to sit there. I'll sit there. Oh, wait a minute, then I gotta walk all the way down there to give this thing.
I know, that's what I'm afraid of. I know. Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
These are good for your back.
They good for my back?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, fantastic. A lot better for my back. Wow.
He heard that.
He did hear it.
I haven't talked to him. He called me, oh, that's right, talking Friday.
Last week was a week of hell. Oh, well, okay. No, modern truck, recycling truck, hydraulic hose.
Oh, and they had.
I'm glad you did.
Yeah, this I was.
I love it. Somebody picture past the.
I just told Peter.
They got a meeting last week.
They're all, yeah. We shut down at 3:30.
One night, you know, here's.
There's an 800 number on there. Look how the answers are. I know that 80 or 10. Then we gotta call one of these guys.
What's the building or problem?
Yeah, you're real right in. So we're pretty close to meeting. Then I get I never knew what that was.
It's more of a question than anything. Yeah, well, I'm sure you'll talk to Mike about it, say, hey, what's going on, what are you doing? Well, Scott will. Yeah, Scott's yeah, so I know what I do.
Public hearing.
Next meeting is July. Yeah, that's not a bad call, can't be on there.
This is the one I printed off though when I got.
My mail goes into that.
Yeah, that's when I looked at it.
No, it's the same number.
I printed this out earlier.
Anyway, he doesn't know anything about the
You guys hear me back there?
So I told him, I'm still gonna put turn it off the other place. He's gonna talk to Scott.
Hear me now? Okay, we have a public hearing tonight on Wheatfield Crossing Lighting District. Ma'am, you or Kathy want to read the public hearing notice?
Notice of public hearing found on Wheatfield, a public hearing on the proposed lighting district for Wheatfield Crossing subdivision will be held August 4th, 2025, 6:50 p.m. at the Wheatfield Town Hall, 2800 Church Road, Northtown, Water, New York. Anyone interested may attend here. Kathleen Harrington, Does
anyone have any comments about it? If you would just brief explain why we're doing this, why we're doing the public hearing.
I think there may be someone here from Forbes, there is a representative. The public hearing for the lighting district basically is, we passed a law several years ago that new subdivisions had to, establish lighting districts for their lighting plan. And through that process, there has to be a petition for the lighting district, and it has to be reviewed by the town board, and there has to be a public hearing before the vote to establish it. So we have received the petition, and we're at the public hearing stage today. And I think it's Miss Amy Sue, who is here from Forbes.
Maybe you have any comments, or anybody have any questions about the public hearing for the lighting district? Somebody comment on this? Thank you. Anybody want to make a motion to close the public hearing?
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Public hearing is closed.
And I just would like to thank Ms. Sue for coming. We didn't want you to come for no reason, but in case there were questions, we always look at it.
Do I need to stay for the end of the meeting?
Well, we're gonna do shortly the vote. I would suggest to stick around because, we can then advise you the process of what to do after that.
Well, I have an hour drive home, that's why I'm out.
Oh. We'll make it quick. It's not, we don't have a lot of things on the agenda.
Please rise to the pledge of allegiance.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
directors. Is there any other? My ears are blocked from science, so I can't hear myself, so, anyway. All board members are present tonight. Any public input? Rich, you want to talk about,
Push the button. No, okay, closer to you. Closer to you. Closer to you.
Yeah, this is, my name is Rich Mussolino, and I live in Renee Terrace.
we're trying to pull that up a little bit closer here. There you go.
Okay. And, I just have a question, other than making a statement or anything like that tonight, but there's been some excavation, being done up on Renee Terrace, on a vacant lot next to that home that had the, problem with the water in the basement. And this is relating to the well being dug and this sulfur smell and all that. And I don't know if you're aware that there was a trench that was being dug around the house to see if they could, put a fix on that. It was filled with bentonite, about a 4-foot trench around the house. The home had about 3 sump pumps put in there, and there were still sump pumps weren't keeping up with the water coming in the basement. And, you had to have the well dug, and they get sulfur, and I think you're familiar with that issue, I hope you are. And anyway, there was, on July 21st, some excavation started on the vacant lot next to them, of the dais over there. Where I'm at. The trench was about maybe, I don't know, maybe 10 feet from ground level. They get filled up with water. So they hit some water. And it was all groundwater. And it rose about, I want to say it rose about maybe 4 or 5 feet. And I was looking at it, I walked over there every day, and it was just groundwater. You know, and it wasn't rising any further, just lay there about 4 or 5 feet. And then the other day, I went and I looked at it, and there's a storm drain at the bottom there now.
Storm drain or grate?
A grate. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, yeah. There's a grate. And, you know, I'm used to seeing a grate up on top where the water comes in and goes down into the sewer. But this was identical to the grates that you see at ground level where the water's going down, but this is like 3 or 4 feet under the water. I had a chance to talk to the owner. He was out in the driveway, and I wanted to introduce myself. I never met him. And I talked about it. He said, well, he says, you know, when they dug it, he says, I don't have as much trouble with my sump pumps anymore. He says, one of the pumps has been shut off. He says, I still have 2 sump pumps running. One's been shut off. He says, and it seemed to have helped a little bit. And I have no idea the concept of, I don't understand how you have a drain down below the street level, and the water is not as bad as it was, but I'm just wondering, like, you know, I don't know if anybody knew that he was excavating, but they had a lot of rock. You got to see the boulders laying up on top of the land right now, because I mean they were jackhammering that thing all day long and just pulling boulders out of there. But right now you got a muddy hole. They've got some of that orange fencing around there, and there's a grate 3 or 4 feet down in the water. And I have like no idea. I'm not an engineer, like I'm saying that. I have no idea what the function is. So I guess you know you're not aware of what he did. So maybe if when you talk to Scott or talk to Michael, just find out, hey, you know, what are you doing on that property? Because apparently right now the way it is, I don't think they're going to be able to develop, put a house on that lot. So I don't know what they're going to do with that lot. And then you might want to reconsider talking to the contractor and say, hey, you know, why don't you just cut your losses and stop building homes if you don't know what's under the ground and all that, causing more trouble, because the place looks like a war zone. If you go up on top over there, the new phase 2 development up on top, there's boulders, huge boulders just laying there. There's lumber laying around there, there's weeds growing, the place is unsightly. And I'm surprised a lot of the other neighbors haven't complained yet. I mean, I don't see it, but sort of like, I've chosen this hill to die on, okay? It's not affected me. I've got 1 sump pump in my basement, and it's working fine. But this contractor is just, you know, he digs a well, then he can digs a trench, and then they have the trenches at work, and then now he excavates a huge hole in the vacant lot next to his house, and somebody's gotta talk to him, to find out, like, what's going on? And like I say, maybe tell him to cut his losses on all these vacant lots that he's got, and say, hey, no more building.
Now, Rich, I'll stop you
Yeah.
there. I heard about this, I missed.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
There's nothing I can do to respond until I talk to the developer.
I'm aware of that, yeah.
Could be very well that they're doing a test well to see if that property could be developed.
Well, we'll find out, when we talk to Scott
It's
and
a
Mike.
saleable lot.
Yeah.
And it could be, and that's how they're doing, is digging to see if in fact that the water is as severe as the house next door. I'll find out tomorrow.
I appreciate that. I just want you to be aware that there's some issues up there, and Renee, and, you know, a well, and trenches, and now they excavate, and, I don't know.
It's a vacant lot, I'm sure they're testing to see what they have there.
Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't come to the town and told you what he's doing.
They wouldn't have to, I mean, they didn't have a building permit, I'm assuming they don't have. So, if there's no permit on it, they would apply for a permit, it could be a test well, to see the severity of the water at that lot. And as you know, there's a rock shelf that runs through that whole area of Wheatville.
I'm aware of that, Okay, for what it's worth, I just hope everybody's aware of what's going on up in Renee. All right,
Check it
thanks.
out tomorrow. Thank you. Anyone else? Approval of the minutes, July 7th, 2025. Second. I have a motion and a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Minutes are approved. Excuse me. Approval of bill payment, July 21st, 2025. Voucher amount of $171.73. And second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Bills are paid. Approval of bill payment of August 4th, 2025. Voucher number 2025-1213 through 2025-1277 for the total amount of $266,600.57. Motion please. Second. And second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Department heads, Paul Seaman.
Just carrying out our paving. We did the Briars 2 weeks ago. Right now I have a crew in Lakeside, and I call it Pine Lake subdivision up in Whitmer, rebuilding all the catch basins. I know like Lakeside, they have to rebuild over 60 catch basins, and I don't know, what is that, 20 years old? They gotta do that before we can go in there and blacktop. I'm hoping to get in there by September and blacktop it, but I'm losing, my main mason right now has gotta go out on medical leave. We also got permission from a gentleman over on Niagara Road, gave us permission to get back into Burkle Street. There's a large dam back in there. This is the third one we've taken out. And like I said, it's all about access. You can't get in there, you can't get permission, you can't get to it. The other thing we did with Burkle Creek is, and I've been trying to get to it for 3 years, and nothing ever aligned, and I was always short manpower and just ran out of time, was the box culverts going back into Thornwoods. So I talked to Don, and Don said, get a price, maybe get somebody to do it. Well, I got a price, it was almost $40,000. So I decided to pull everybody off, all their other jobs. The whole crew went down there for 2 or 3 days, well, 3 days, and we did the box culverts. 2 of the box culverts were actually empty. 4 of them had anywhere from 2 to 3 feet of silt in them, so they're about 30% full. What was really odd was, even on the outside of the box culverts, the approach and the exit of them had more dirt on it, or more dirt built up than the actual box culverts themselves. So I would say we took somewhere between 20 and 35 loads of dirt out of there. I didn't keep track of it. I really wasn't expecting it to be that much. I have to thank Mr. Zakari for all the topsoil upstream that got sent downstream, but I did take some pictures. I know Randy stopped by there, I know Don stopped by there and took a look at it. A few other guys who just wanted to take a look, you get a chance. Thank you.
You might go to that, I just want to compliment you and your department. When I went over and looked at the job you did, and again, I think I told you I was there again this morning, my hats off to you and your department, that you would relay that to your jobs, you did a great job.
Yeah, like I said, we thought it was a little bit above our scope just because of the lack of time and so much stuff trying to get done in the 4 months of summer that we get. But I just decided it had to be done. I know we've had problems with that bridge overflowing. We had that big rain event. And also, when we blacktopped it this year, we did raise up the road 4 to 6 inches in the low spot. So I'm not saying it's not gonna flood, but these are all preventive things that we did. I don't know what else to do back in there for it.
You want to maybe mention the fact that you shot elevations to make sure by raising the road?
Yes. The highest part of the road, for where we raised it 6 inches, is still 6 inches lower than the lowest part of them people's driveways that are right down the road from it. Because I didn't want to do that, I know. Solve one problem and create another, so they should be fine.
Great job, Paul. And if you guys, any of you have the opportunity to look at the box culvert and they're changing I won't say changing grading, but Paul did a great job. You guys have the opportunity to check it out. Pictures look good.
That was actually, tells you how long I've been around, too long. I think we never cleaned the inside of the boxes out, but we did clean the approach and the exit. It had to be 25, 30 years ago, because we had our old International excavator back when we did it, and I remember doing it then. And I think 90% of that dirt came from that one July storm that we had. So, any other questions, let me know.
Once again, thanks, Paul. Did a great job. Water sewer, Mark Moss.
No report tonight.
Thanks, Mark. Recreation, Mike Ronaldo.
No report tonight.
Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
Mike Clark is on vacation. Chris, you got any reports?
No report.
Kelly is away. Anything from the constables tonight?
No report.
General engineers, nothing from them either, right?
You're not gonna make me eat a bag yet.
We're on a roller or something.
Well, I have a quick thing, so we had two things for our agenda this evening. The first one is, some extra engineering review fees that, been trying to find where they're documented in the town records and just haven't been able to find them anywhere, so, we have a letter with those fees in there to actually get them on the official fee schedule. And they are reviews, and we don't do that often, but they are from time to time for basically reviewing traffic impact studies, reviewing downstream capacity analysis, drainage studies, and HECRAS studies that are becoming more and more commonplace as we deal with our newer floodplains. So we figured out the best we could what the previous approved fees were and have our proposed fees in our penalty, and we have a motion for that this evening.
Are most of these fees paid by the PIPP?
Well, they're all paid for by the developer. Not necessarily PIP, but it's paid for by the developer. The second item that we have for you on our agenda is a supplement to our lead service line inventory. I think Mark talked a little bit about this at the last meeting. If you're aware, the town is required to do an inventory of all water services in the town, and based on the dates and type of services that they are. The town got through a ton of these over last summer and the fall. We did get a supplement to do additional ones between when our last report was due to the Department of Health, which was in October of last year. So we had a supplement to go through and get the remaining reports through June of this year. So the second supplement is to do the remaining, or any of the inspection reports, tabularize those in the DPC spreadsheet between now and October 16th of this year, when we have to submit yet another certification. And on top of that, we have to come up with a new sampling program for the town. That's where we do random samplings for lead, water, and have it tested. And I believe previously it was what, Mark? I think we had 6 locations that we tested
Every 3 years, yeah.
3 years. Now we're gonna have to do 60 locations this fall and another 60 locations, in June of next year. So we have to go through and sample through all these addresses throughout the town, so we have an approved sample location from the department. So that's what I'm proposing. Any questions on that?
Any questions for Tom?
Mark's guys are doing a great job. I think we had almost 850 inspections done between October of last year
And how many do we have to complete yet?
We just mailed out another, was it 1,411 notices, letters to get inspected.
Is there a percentage that we have to accomplish before it's over?
They're looking for 100% to get all done.
We gotta keep going until they're done. The good part is that the less we have, the less letters we have to send out and get these critical mailings down. But it's
Still hurts me because we have that local law, just wasn't made.
This is an unfunded mandate too, right?
yeah.
And there, I take it there's no grant money out there for this type of.
Not that I'm aware of.
I think there was some grant money available, but you had to have your program all established, and you just found out what our program had to be.
Because I think keep changing and moving the goalposts on it.
Well, I think depending on what we find as well, there may be things that we can get grants for, like, I'm gonna knock on wood, but so far, we haven't found any lead services in the town. And we haven't found any, the other one that's we're on the lookout for is galvanized, because that's almost as bad as what else, but we, so far out of all that they've done and inspected, not found any lead or any galvanized. So if we were to start finding a lot of lead or found a lot of lead, there is some grant money available for setting up a program to go and replace those services. But
We're looking for.
we're trying. We're hoping that.
You know, I think these guys realized when I first started with the town years ago, we went around and replaced, with lead or galvanized service lines. Nick Wasman, if anybody remembers that, no charge, the town paid for it, years ago. And they passed a local law in 1958. Yeah. And it was never dated on the law. So here we are.
That's why we dig the heck out of everything.
But there's gonna be no cost to these homeowners to do this, if there's a renovation that's needed, right? And we've told them that.
Yeah, we told them that.
So, yeah, I mean, so.
You've told them that, they just won't let you in to take a look.
Right. There's some that'll give you a little trouble, but majority have let us in.
That's the hard part to run into, is communication out there and scheduling the time and going through the stuff.
We usually receive calls from people because we want to get in homes so we can always attend. I don't know.
I think the letter probably states that there's gonna be no cost to you. The first thing they're gonna do is say,
Some people
Right.
have no faith in government. Motion, Matt Crooks.
Okay, first motion from Wendell, Tim indicated to approve the updated fees for future area review, 2025 study review fees in accordance with Wendell's letter dated July 31st, 2025, and the attached fee schedule.
I'll move that. Second.
Second, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion again from Wendell to authorize supplement number 2 to Wendell's lead service line inventory assistance authorization in accordance with their proposal letter dated July 31st, 2025, for time and expense estimated fee of $9,300.
So moved. Second. Motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion by the town board, resolve to appoint Kelly Kaufman as the Wheatfield Town Assessor for the next New York State appointed assessor term of October 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2031.
Have a motion, please.
So moved.
I'll second it. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from, Councilman Elway, resolve to renew the transit maintenance agreement for standard service for September 1st, 2025 through August 31st, 2026 for $4,515 for 1 year, to be split between highway, water, sewer, recreation, and it covers radios and antennas between the buildings.
So moved. Second. Motion and second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next motion from the town board, town attorney, resolve a resolution pursuant to New York State Town Law, Section 194, to adopt an B, all property owners within the proposed lighting district are benefited. C, all property and all property owners benefited by the proposed district are included within the limits of the district. And D is in the public interest to grant the relief requested and to establish a district. And be it further resolved that the Leesville Crossing Lighting District is hereby established.
Need a motion, so moved. Second. And a second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
And I just would like to add, for the developer, what you'll probably do now is, the request from the town clerk a certified copy of this resolution, and you'll need that to go to National Grid when you're ready to have it started. But we've had trouble with National Grid, once the lighting district is up and running, getting the bills to the town, so it's imperative that we can give you information on our address, but, they have to know that it's to be built at the town of Leesville, address.
Correct.
But, we tell them that all the time, but they sent the bills,
I
we
have
never know
lots
where
of contacts that are not a problem.
Okay, good.
And I'll follow up to make sure that you get them.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right, and that's it.
Thank you.
There's no other motions.
Board member, Larry Heller.
One thing, new computers, Link Technologies started the process of distributing about 15 or 16 new computers this year. And I know Mike, Recreation Department wanted to wait till September-ish to get theirs, so hopefully they're waiting, I don't think they've done some departments already, but they were gonna wait for you. For your budget for next year, I only saw, and I'll distribute a list to everyone. It looks like the last 2 years, we've done like 15 or 16 computers, quite a few. This year, it looks like there's only 5 or 6 that are eligible. They gotta be at least 5 years old, to be replaced. And I think the only department is water sewer, but I'll get that list out, all the departments put it. Any department thinks that they have something that's old and ancient and needs replaced, let me know.
Bill Lizette.
From St. Johnsburg Fire Company, they'd like to add Mayor Edson Bueller as an active firefighter and remove Josh Viatar, and I'll make that motion. That's all I have.
Second.
Motion is second, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Kurt Doctor.
Nothing.
Thank you, Kurt. Randy.
I have nothing.
I just had maybe a question for Larry. I had a couple calls the last few weeks about the cost of internet service. I know Northtown wanted to, is a different provider for, anything we can do to get another firm to come into town with us?
I've tried, I mean, we Greenlight from North Carolina, contacted them, we had, was it people from Verizon, they were back about 2.5, 3 years ago, the Verizon, people were here in Union, and, they wanted us to acknowledge that we would allow them to come in if they had something to do, but we gave them the motion, we told them that, we're willing to entertain more competition for internet, but, I think right now, I think you're trying to concentrate on delivering houses. And North Carolina has a lot of houses, and it'd be, retail's pretty dense, I mean, you would think that would be the next location they want to come to.
That's too bad, because I don't know anybody else that knows, but it's Starford doesn't go out.
A lot of it's on television, though, the internet service has been pretty, you might bill over $200 nowadays, if you look at what you get for $200, not a lot.
That's crazy. I don't know if there's anybody we can contact.
The only thing we always have contact, Verizon doesn't have, they have files, North Carolina, and then we do. Greenlight is already there, I mean, some people are good using Verizon and, T-Mobile, you can get those little, cell phone, Wi-Fi adapters that will give, it'll give you, Wi-Fi in your house, which is internet, but you have to pay a monthly fee for that. Providing, like, I only get maybe 1 card, 2 cards of Verizon in my house. So I don't, if I were to even buy one of those, I don't know how much bandwidth I would get. So you get to be pretty close to a cell
August 18th, 2025, for bill payment only. And our regular town board meeting will be September 8th, 2025, at 7 o'clock. I have a motion to adjourn. Oh, Dave, I'm sorry, I forgot it legislature. Dave, I have big letters here, so. This is,
I know, I forgot.
sorry about that.
Good evening. First thing I have tonight is a handout that I'd like to give to your clerk to put out for your residents. And this is a service provided through our county clerk's office. It's protection of your home title. And what it is, if you sign up online, there's no cost to the sign up or for the service. And all this does, it will alert you if for any reason a document such as your deed or mortgage or anything is recorded under your name falsely by somebody else. So it's a nice service being provided free of charge. Put them out for your handouts. Okay, there you go. Also, you probably know by now that our director of our public health, Dan Stapleton, will be retiring at the end of August. We went through the search and we've selected a lady, actually from Oklahoma City, Dr. Fazia Khan. She comes out of Oklahoma with gleaming credentials, and she will begin right at the end of August to take over Don's spot. At the same time, we're in the process of moving public health from the old infirmary, and some of us know it out there in Montview, to a facility on Stevens Street, right in Lockport, a few blocks away from the courthouse. The entire public health and all units will be there at that facility. We're in the process of doing that now, and the IT is already taken care of. We also talk about IT. We have begun drafting our policies for artificial intelligence, which you've probably read an awful lot about, and we've met with quite a few people from the County Association and from the National Association, because this being a topic that we can't avoid. It's going to happen. We can't stop it. Like we say, the horse is already out of the barn, so we got to put that corral around just what the county can and cannot do as far as artificial intelligence. Other than that, I personally want to recognize Dominic Swan. Yesterday was a ceremony for our Purple Heart Monument, in which a number of names was added to our Purple Heart recipients. Don was the keynote address. He did a gleaming job, outstanding job. For the record, on behalf of Niagara County and all the people in Niagara County, especially our veterans and their families, Don did a fantastic job, and I thank you very, very much.
I appreciate it.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Any questions for me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You throw a compliment with me, and let's roll it back at you. I want to thank you from the Garden Club. The town of Wakefield purchased a shed for the Garden Club, which they've been asking for a couple of years. And the town of Wakefield was going to pay for it, and Dave asked me, can I help you out? And I said, yeah, we can pay for a garden shed. So I want to thank you, Dave, for taking the initiative to pay for the Garden Club. We didn't get a chance to take a look at it. It's got Garden Club on it. And also, when Ben Joe is here, the Garden Club would like to have a photograph with you and me.
Well, maybe not.
Yeah. So, but they would like to have a picture of us, and then I think it's gonna put it in the Tribune. And, when the time is right, I'd like to follow through with that. And again, thank you for helping the town of Wakefield.
It's certainly my pleasure. Let me know when it is. I will dress other than in my shorts.
Sounds good.
And it happens.
Thank you again.
All right, thank you.
One last thing, our town picnic is not for you, Dave, but you can stay there. Our town picnic is August 17th at Fairmont Park. It's a great time, and always good food, good company, so anyone can make it. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
And just one thing, hunting licenses are officially on sale. They went on sale August 1st, so for any hunters, that time of year.
Can we make a motion to adjourn?
And that's all we did with them.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you so much, folks.
I just.
Larry? Yeah. How we doing, Gil?
Well, I know they got yours.
Chris, how you holding up? I'm holding up.
Where do I get it like that? Oh my God, he is getting
It'll make it a lot easier.
Didn't get it out of there like, well, guys, I got it.
Where I am, we go out to funny thing was, in this
I come over, and I'm wonderful like this.
they always come up. They go around. No, I wouldn't.